This is the men's plus 109 kilogram Group A session. The final session of the competition. Please welcome the athletes.
Well, if you're only just joining us, welcome back. This is the men's plus 109 kilo A session. The strongest men in the world coming together to find who out is the strongest in weightlifting. We have just an unbelievable lineup here. Of course, we're live from Bogota, Colombia. I'm Seb Ostrovich. I'm joined, of course, by Max Ater. And this is a session we've been eyeing up for a long time. We've all been talking about it. What shape will the all-time world record holder Talakadze be on? He's on the right of our screen. What shape will the two 109s who've moved up be in? So we'll start off here. We have Ali Davoudi, junior world record holder, who snatched an enormous 200 kilos in the training hall less than a week ago. He's one of 7 athletes that we know have done 200 kilos. Next up, his teammate, Ayat Sharifi, who we saw at the World Championships last year as well. Now, from Egypt, El Sayed, who known on Instagram as Hulk Weightlifter, very strong athlete there. Hasn't competed internationally in years, however. Walid Bidani from Algeria. He's looking very strong in the clean and jerk these days. Very quick, super heavyweight. Next up, Man Assad from Syria. Again, another athlete who's been putting up 240 clean and jerks recently. So the two-time Olympic silver medalist, previously a 105, then a 109 athlete. This is his first competition as a super. Simon Martirosyan. Here's his teammate, Varazdat Lalayan, one of the strongest snatchers and clean and jerkers in this competition, certainly looking for a podium spot. And now competing for Bahrain, of course, it's Ghor Minassian, one of the greatest snatchers of all time, joint second heaviest snatch ever behind Talakadze. Then we have the Olympic champion, the world champion from the 109 category, moved up now to compete as a super, Akbar Jurayev. And finally, the strongest man to have ever competed in the sport, all-time world records, 225, 267, 492 in the total, Lasha Talakadze. Max, almost every single athlete that we look at here, you can just rattle off for 5 minutes seemingly their competition history, their medals. Just unbelievable what they've all done.
Yeah, it's the best of the best here. I mean, we have every single lifter in this session looking to be, potentially on the podium. I mean, they are all incredible in their own right. Cap it off with Lasha, greatest of all time. This is possibly one of the best super sessions that's ever existed.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And I think what might make this more interesting is finding out what shape Talakadze is in. He's either going to be in great shape, in which case we get to see a performance like no one else has ever done, or if he's slightly below his best, it means finally we get to see him pushed by some of these other athletes. We know that Lalayan gave him a bit of a nudge at the European Championships, Lasha having previously just gotten a little bit hurt a couple of weeks prior to that. There are other athletes we know can do it. Ghor Minassian, potentially looking to snatch up there with Talakadze, maybe even out-snatch him if Lasha has a bad day. So, I mean, these athletes here are all looking to push Lasha. And for the first time in a while, he's not the heaviest man on the platform.
Yeah, very true. Ali Davoudi here, a bit heavier than him, 174, I believe, at weigh-ins. Lasha came in a bit lighter than that, 1665. That's probably the lightest we've seen him in a long time.
Yeah, my memory of seeing Lasha at the World Championships last year was that he weighed around 184, 183 kilos, and I think that was his peak.
Yeah.
And I did mention when I saw him here today, I thought he looked, well, not today, last week, I thought he looked quite svelte.
Yeah,
quite slim, quite trim
as well
for a super heavyweight lifter. So the heaviest is Ali Davoudi from Iran, who also actually weighs a touch less than I think he did at the Asian Champs. He's 174.6 here. Was he 180?
Yeah, he was 180. That was the rumor. He was 180 kilos at Asian. So interesting, we have the two heaviest men actually coming in a bit light, but then we have those two lighter 109s that have moved up. They've presumably been gaining weight this whole time. Not exactly sure what Akbar Jurayev weighed at the Islamic Games where he did...
I think he was around 118 back then,
Yeah, so he's gained about 6 kilos since then, which is really impressive. We'll see that probably push his clean and jerk up a bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully so.
He's a 250-ish plus clean and jerker here. For a man that size is incredible.
That will be one of the greatest clean and jerks of the era by Sinclair if he's able to push up into that 250 kilo range, weighing 124. Then Simon Martirosyan, he's weighing around 127 kilos. Interestingly, both athletes told us that they were weighing around 130 when they turned up. I know a lot of people here have struggled to maintain their weight since turning up. I don't know if it's an altitude issue. You commented on that a few days ago.
Yeah, potentially all the extra, breathing and just the thinner air makes it a little bit more difficult to stay hydrated. Sometimes, these athletes might be exerting themselves just a little more, getting around. So could potentially have an impact. I think one of the men to really keep your eye on is definitely Lalayan.
Yeah.
He pushed, I think as you said, nudged Lasha back at the Europeans.
He forced a final attempt from Lasha.
Yeah, and Lasha wasn't able to make that, but I think he's probably in a lot better shape than he was there as far as the injury goes.
Yeah.
But Lalayan, if he puts together a solid snatching over 210 and
over 250.
Yeah, over 250 in clean jerk, that's not a bad total. I mean, since when has 460 kilos plus in the supers been a sort of total you gloss over?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, he's there. I mean, he's the guy that may push. And then Davudi, we don't know what shape Davudi's in as far as the snatch goes. At 200 in the training hall is really big.
Yeah, that's very, very strong. And then obviously he lost to Gore Manassian at the Asian Championships.
Yeah, he wants
Gore
redemption
turned
here.
up and lifted just extremely well. He snatched 210 kilos at the Asian Championships. He clean and jerked, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was somewhere over the 240 kilo mark. And of course we know that he's a man who can snatch 216 kilos, which is amazing.
Yeah, I believe he did a 242 clean and jerk at the Asians.
Was it 242?
Yeah, 242.
Okay.
So he's potentially in very, very good shape here as well. We saw he looked significantly stronger at the Asian Championships than we did see him at the Europeans.
And we saw Gore for, we watched him quite a lot there, but in competition, he was running up onto the platform.
Yeah,
he was so eager to hit a big total and win. Obviously, the Bahrainian Federation sort of went out on a bit of a limb trying to bring him in to compete for them, and he sort of felt that pressure competing in his new home country. And so he was sprinting onto that platform to hit his lifts to move back ahead of Davudi, and he did so well, and Davudi just couldn't hang with him. The pressure was, maybe too much, maybe the weight was too much, but Gore lifted so well there.
Yeah.
So it seems likely that, Gore is in 250 plus shape. He's been over 260 before. He hit 264 kilos at the European Championships. So he could well be in that kind of shape again. Lasha could be in 470 plus shape. Probably he is, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And you never know. Some of these other athletes might be able to get up there with them too.
Yeah, we've got some interesting matchups if you look at it, right? It's Davudi versus Gore, round 2.
Yeah.
I think Davudi seems like he, put some extra work in because that 200 training hall snatch, he wants the title back, basically.
Beats a competition snatch.
Yep. And then you've got the other two, Martirosyan and Duraev, the smaller supers.
Yep, they've battled it out so many times now. They battled it out at the Olympics, and Duraev won. They battled it out at the World Championships months later, and Duraev won. And now they move up.
Yeah, Martirosyan probably doesn't like getting beat there, so we'll see what he's able to do. And then really it's kind of the Lalayan Lasha show if Lasha's conditioning is not quite what he needs it to be.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's a battle here between Akbar Duraev and Gore Manassian.
Wow.
Because, Akbar Duraev is
possible.
Potentially stronger clean and jerker. He made over 245 kilos as a super in his first competition. We've heard that in training he's been over 250 kilos. Gore's never done that. So if Gore snatches 210 and we see Duraev get in the 205 range, if Gore's able to make 247 and we see Duraev needing a 253 to move ahead, I think he's going to get under it. Whether or not he's able to get it overhead, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if the battle for that podium spot is between 3 or 4 athletes trying to get into the bronze.
At least, yeah. I think Duraev is one of those ones I'm really excited to see because we know he's a phenomenal lifter. No matter what weight class he's been in.
Technically, he's up there.
Just such a exciting lifter to watch. But now with the basically unlimited growth he can have in body weight.
That's the wrong name on your screen there. That's Walid Badani, not Lalayan.
It'll be really exciting to see what happens.
Yeah, it really will be. I mean, as you mentioned, Juraev's technique is up there with maybe Lasha's in this session.
Yeah, the only thing Lasha really has on him is just the incredible size he has and strength. You know, Juraev is pushing to get in this class where Lasha is probably naturally quite a bit bigger.
Yeah, definitely different proportions in this category. You've got athletes like Lasha, and I guess you could actually put someone like Juraev in there. Juraev's just almost like a smaller version, but similar proportions. And then you have the Armenians, who are totally different. I mean, Gore is much shorter limbs, and yet somehow he's a better, he's a better snatcher. I don't know how he does it.
Gore defies a lot of logic. You know, the way he lifts, the style, just everything about the mechanics of his lifting seemed kind of bewildering. But then a 216 snatch, you know, you can't deny that.
No. So we've heard that the Uzbek athletes have been at a training camp for the last, I think we heard it was 32 days before flying out here. That's what Ruslan Nuradinov, who took the gold medal last night in the 109s, mentioned. So they've come off a very long training camp before flying out here. Hopefully that means that, well, that's conducive to some big numbers. We'll have to see. There's Talakadze. He will likely start warming up in the muscle snatch. Not for a while, though, before dropping down and building up from the snatch. Did he give a wink to the camera, though?
He just gave a coy smile, which makes me wonder if
he knows something.
Yeah, he knows something we don't.
Yeah, maybe he's been lying to us all and he's been in better shape than he is. Maybe he's been slowing down his 215 snatches to make it look like he might struggle with it. I mean, he's put in 210 for his opener, which is pretty big. He might drop that down, but I don't think he's opened heavier than around the 211 mark before.
Yeah.
And in fact, oftentimes we've noticed recently, as Lasha has lifted heavier and heavier weights in the snatch, he's opened lighter and lighter, giving himself bigger jumps. Rather than opening at 214, jumping to 19 and then 25, he's opting to open at 208, jump to 216 or 217, you know, really big 7-8 kilo jumps.
Yeah, I mean, a 10 kilo jump probably wouldn't even be that much of an ask for him.
No.
We've even seen that in some of the smaller classes. From a Colombian lifter, I believe. Last night we saw a 10 kilo jump in the snatch.
Yep.
So I would imagine that as Lasha gets bigger and stronger, those bigger jumps, like you said, are going to be more common.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wonder, are these athletes from different countries going to share a platform there?
Yeah.
It looks like Lalayan and Gore. I mean, they tend to warm up. They train together in the training hall. They have probably the identical opening attempts and second and third attempts here, so it's possible.
Yeah, well, I wonder if their coach is the same, if that's what they're doing there.
Well, Gore has his old coach, who now is technically a Bahrainian coach.
Right.
It's time to begin.
I don't know if he's allowed to coach for Armenia as well.
185 kilograms, representing Egypt.
Here we go.
Abdelrahman Mohammed.
All right, so we're underway already. Looks like we're going to see Abdelrahman from Egypt, a.k.a. Hulk weightlifter, opening up with 185. As we've mentioned before, he last time he officially totaled at an international competition was back in 2011. He competed at the World Championships that year, placed 10th. He then took 8 years off. He then competed in 2019. He subsequently received a ban for that, so he's been back in training for a few years. He looks to be a little bit below some of the top lifts from back in the day, potentially.
Yeah,
but we'll have to wait and see.
Still a pretty big opener for him. I think he's only opened here and above maybe twice.
And maybe his best snatch might only be 190 in competition, actually. So, yeah, pretty big. 10 seconds. 5.
Yeah, very comfortable for him. Big jump back, but he's a large man and he moves with the bar. So
yeah, I think I'm going to have to get used to the feeling of my chair vibrating during this session. I think we all sort of moved a little bit then when he landed on the platform with that weight. The combined amount of weight that we see from these athletes, I mean, we could see 250 clean and jerks by 150 plus athletes. It's 400 kilos of weight that lands almost simultaneously on the platform.
So 186 is the automatic for him. We'll see Martosian here is the lifter. We'll see what comes out, though. His clock is running down. Looks like there's a change to 186 again.
So Martosian bumps up to 190.
Wow.
Which is good. I'm excited to see that.
That's what we want to see.
We've never seen him over 199. He did that as a 109 back in 2019. That was a great battle there in the snatches we saw in 2019. Okay, so we're up to 190 now.
Yep. It's like El Sayed's getting a little bit of a rub down here, something with his, possibly in his ribs. You know, maybe one of his intercostal muscles is bothering him or something. He's a seasoned lifter.
Got a lot of oxygen in the back room there, it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, these big athletes, if we see them follow themselves, we might have to crack the oxygen out. Altitude is extremely high. Athletes have struggled a fair bit at this competition. So here we have Ayat Sharifi. He's a stronger snatcher than he is clean and jerker. Last year, he beat his teammate in the snatch and lost his teammate in the clean and jerk. But we know he can get up around that 200 kilo mark. Very tall, enormous man.
Yeah, this is a strong opener, 190.
Weighing in at 149.3 kilos. Such an enormous pull on him.
Gets his feet together. That was good thinking on his part. He almost dropped it. You can see very, very fast pull. That bar is moving at the top.
Yeah.
He does catch it a tiny bit forward, but he is so tall. He has plenty of range of motion basically to stand up and get that bar where he needs it. So 190 is now the mark. We've got Walid Badani here on the clock.
Yeah, this is about right for him.
Yeah, I think Badani is one of the stronger, one of the lower snatchers. I think his best ever snatch is actually only 202, which ironically enough puts him at sort of the lower end of some of these top snatchers here.
So Lasha is in the back room currently muscle snatching 70 kilos, which is about right for him. There's 10 athletes competing here, 30 attempts. He'll probably take his opener, maybe 5 attempts out from the end, 6 attempts maybe. So he's probably got about half an hour until he's out. Now this is exciting to see. He snatched 160 kilos for a few singles in the training hall. Clean and jerked up to 230. Looked like he had a bit of a lower back issue. We saw him just a few moments ago in the back room with a lot of tape on his lower back.
Swung it behind just a bit.
He actually pulls 190, as you'd expect, quicker now than he did when he was a 109.
Yeah.
I was impressed with the bar speed, but definitely swinging it a bit too much. Got such a wide grip on the bar.
I almost wonder if he may bump up. It looked like he was pretty confident, whatever he told his coach there. Maybe just blowing that off even. Not a big deal.
Yeah, not worried about it.
Yeah, at this level, you know, these athletes missing one lift can set them back a significant number of kilos. So we'll see.
In the sport of Olympic weightlifting, there are 2 movements contested. First, the snatch.
192 would be the next one. So if he does inch up above that.
I'm not convinced he's going to.
Yeah, I don't think he is here.
Safest thing for him is just to get on the board.
Yep.
Each athlete has 3.
He looks in good spirits.
Yeah.
Doesn't look too worried. Presumably, if we're going to see an increase in strength from him from moving up a category, it's more likely to transfer over to the clean and jerk. Oftentimes, an athlete gains a lot of weight like this, and it changes the technical aspect of the snatch. We don't see the improvement until a little bit later on, once they've figured that out.
Yeah, it can be a little bit harder to get down to the bar in the start position. Changing that leverage is something they have to get accustomed to. So his first was very strong, just swung it a little bit. See if he doesn't overcorrect here, though. Yeah,
that's so much nicer. That's about as nice as we've ever seen him make a snatch.
Yeah.
He normally has to shift over to one side. He's often a little bit pressy, and he gets away with lifts sometimes.
Well, that extra body weight really makes a difference. You can see how much more stable he is under that bar.
Now, hopefully he'll feel confident enough to make at least a 5 kilo jump here, get the greens on the bar to 195. Word from the back is that Lasha muscle snatched up to 100. We've heard some relatively distressing news, though, that Jurayev is pulling on 100 kilos and looking to be in pain. So whether or not he's able to continue adding load and come out, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate.
He's put in for 200, which is just enormous. You'd expect him to be over 100 in the back room if he was coming out then. 6 kilo jump for Abdul Rahman.
This is a very big snatch for him. I think this is actually a record for him. His best is 190, so this is a personal record, personal best in international competition. He's got 3 seconds left. Wow.
There we go. Oh, I don't know about that.
It's going to be a little soft on the lockout there in the recovery.
I mean, it's almost more impressive to make a snatch like that than to make it easily. You know, without a press out. He pressed that out so much on his left elbow.
He's selling it to the cameras here. He's looking confused, but yeah, his left arm was definitely a little bit soft.
Yeah, surely he felt that. It's definitely him selling something there.
Yeah. Are they going to challenge?
2 minutos al reloj, 191 kilogramos para el tercer levantamiento del egipcio.
No, they're going to accept that call, I think.
Yeah, wait for another. He's still giving the eyes as though he's confused as to why that lift got taken away from him, but I think it's pretty clear that he pressed that one out.
Yeah, we'll see if he bumps to 192. That'll bring out Man Assad.
Mm-hmm. And Man Assad has never snatched 200 in competition. He's made 197 kilos before. It's quite a late challenge.
Yeah, possibly buying as much time as they can.
I think that's all this can possibly be. There's no way that the jury will overturn this. And in fact, if the jury starts getting wise to this tactic of teams playing a challenge card just to buy some time, they might be extremely quick to turn this down and not give him the extra rest. Because his left elbow is 90 degrees at some points during that.
Yeah, it was possibly that just that little bobble there on the recovery. He unlocked and then locked again.
I mean, he doesn't have a great lockout. He's often quite internally rotated, a little bend in the elbows that he maintains, but I think there's a bit too much movement there.
Yeah, the Egyptians are watching carefully here. Yeah, I think they're going to get an upholding of the jury decision. We'll see, though.
The jury has confirmed the referee's decision, no lift.
So he's got a no lift there. We'll possibly see him take that 191 again.
I would have thought so.
Yeah. Well,
it looked good.
His coach looks like he's running back, possibly change.
Okay.
192 would move him to a different position, so he would have a little more rest.
Yeah, that would bring out Man Assad from Syria, the big man. 5 kilos under his personal best of 196. It looks like he's
no, he's taking it.
He's going to come out for this. He's not going to bump up.
Welcome back to the platform.
I mean, he's had a few minutes. He should be all right.
Yeah, and this is a personal record for him in competition. He's only ever done 190. And he has a very long career. For him to be making records, you know, this late into the career, he's been competing since 2011. Yep. I think he's got a point at the elbows.
Yeah. Presumably they know what that means, but you do actually have to do the point.
He likes to burn that clock down.
Down to 10 seconds.
I'll probably wait till 3. Oh. Wow.
That time, you know, I think they're going to... There's bend, but I don't think that's...
That was a better lift.
Yeah. I don't think there was movement in the elbow as much as there was just an incomplete lockout.
Yeah. Well, that's always great to see.
3 whites.
Yeah, he came back and cleaned it up.
Yeah, personal best for him.
He's
having a good time.
Time begins.
Okay, so Man Assad now will come out. 192 kilos for the Syrian athlete. He's weighing in as one of the heaviest athletes here. I think he's the third biggest, 153 kilos, but he's just quite some way behind both Lasha and Davoudi in terms of body weight, but he's bigger than the rest. So Akbar Jurayev not moving in the back room, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that he won't be competing, which is a shame. The Olympic champion, world champion from 109. We'll presumably see him at the Asian Championships in May instead.
Wow, very strong.
So much speed.
His best snatch in competition is only 197, and that was an easy opener, just 5 kilos from that.
Definitely he's looking at 200 today.
We could see a 200 from him.
The athlete at the automatic increase, 193 kilograms on the barbell for his second attempt. He'll have 2 minutes to take the weight or move up.
So we'll see him probably go 196, I'm guessing, to get above both Badani and Davoudi.
And Martirosyan.
Yeah, Martirosyan's got 195 as well.
It also sets him up nicely, another 4 kilo jump to get to 200. He's almost certainly made it in training, the way he makes these lifts look. He's just never managed to put it together in the competition.
Yeah, that 200 kilo mark is just such a different world. Those that have snatched 200 have bragging rights, I think, that are rightfully earned.
Absolutely. Manasad famously took the bronze medal at the Olympic Games. Of course, that Games lacked athletes like Gormanasyan, Vrazdat Lalayan, because Armenia could only send one male lifter, and they opted for Simon Martirosyan. He took the silver medal at the Asian Championships in 2021.
Walid Badani, Algeria.
So Walid Badani now out. Often these two athletes compete pretty well against each other. Walid Badani looking very strong in the cleaner jack at the moment. He has been over 200 kilos 3 times in his career. 202 is his best.
Again, very strong snatch.
Technically,
to see these big men moving so well, I have to wonder how much the Lasha Talahadze effect of being one of just the most precise technical lifters in the supers has maybe trickled down to some of these guys.
We didn't used to see that.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of athletes like Hussein Rezazadeh almost muscling enormous world record weights overhead. We now see these athletes moving like they're 89 kilos.
Yeah. So 196 here for Sharifi from Iran. He made that 190 pretty solidly on his opener. Little run forward though. As the athletes get taller, that bar has to move so much further, both vertically and horizontally.
He made 197 kilos last year at the World Championships.
Yeah, presumably if he makes this, he's setting himself up for 200.
He's gained 900 grams of body weight since this time last year.
Very good. Still touch forward, but he's stabilized it. Wow.
Now, it's worth mentioning at this point that his teammate, Ali Davoudi, hasn't even come out yet, which is
Davoudi's
alarming.
bumped up as well to 197 here.
Yeah, either that means we're about to see a tricky snatch session from him, or it means he's in tremendous shape.
Yep. Oh, there he comes.
Yeah, so he's going to be out next.
This could be a different Davoudi than we've seen in the past year. 197 is a huge opener.
Yeah, he snatched. Oh, he did snatch 200. Yeah, at the Olympic Games, of course.
This will only be the 3rd time he's even made 197 or more.
195 at the Asian Championships. He's the heaviest man here. He weighed in at 174.6 kilos. Oh, he's in good shape today, I think.
Yeah, he had to catch his balance there just a moment at the bottom, but that was plenty fast.
Back in the 70s, 80s, maybe you could say 90s, it seemed like the super heavyweight categories was dominated by Eastern European athletes. But the last 20 years, really, maybe a little bit more since Rezazadeh jumped on the scene in the late 90s.
Yeah, that all changed with Rezazadeh.
Yeah, it's Team Iran. I mean, the number of super heavyweights that they've had snatching over 200 is unbelievable.
You know, Iran may be one of the most underrated countries, I think, at least in the West. They've produced some very good lifters for a very long time, even as far back as Shaheen Nasrallah, like as a 85.
Did he ever set a world record, Shaheen?
I believe he may have done 215 in the clean and jerk. That's 85.
Think about the world record holders that they have: Rezazadeh, Salimi, junior world records from athletes like Saeed Ali Husseini. There's Rostami. There's
Olympic champions as well.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Tavakoli. Just a strong all-around team.
And do you remember Bahadur Moulay, who was almost the second coming, I think, of Rezazadeh at one point?
A bit smaller, or shorter super, but he took a shot at 264, I believe, in the clean and jerk.
Okay, Manasad now, coming out for 198. This is a 1 kilo personal best. So a pretty big jump for him. Up 6 kilos, but he moved his opener quicker than anyone else has moved their opener so far.
Didn't look any harder than the opening lift. Wow. This man is absolutely on a tear, looking for a 200-plus snatch. I think he's going to go 202 probably.
198, 199.
Wow. He wants a medal in the snatch. Potentially he's going to put himself in the best possible place he can.
I mean,
I don't know if that's possible
No,
here,
he's not going to get a medal with 202, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You have too many athletes capable of 210-plus. Gore, Lalayan, Talakadze. Neither of whom have opened yet.
We still have Jurayev here with 200, but I think we probably counted him out.
Yeah. I think that's pretty short.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate there.
So he will be probably the next athlete out, technically out by Jurayev, but I think we'll find out now that he's going to withdraw.
Yeah. Maratosian's put 200 down. He's going for a 10-kilo jump. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge jump.
I guess he just wants to be in it. So Akbar Jurayev has officially now withdrawn, but we have 2 athletes with 200 kilos written in. Walid Badani will take it. Oh, has Walid bumped up?
Yeah, I think Walid's going to probably...
It should be Walid Badani coming out, but currently Martirosyan.
I think they may be waiting.
Yeah, Badani's bumped to 201.
We've seen that a bit this competition, some eagerness by the athletes and coaches to kind of come out.
Yeah.
They know what's going to happen because they have the scorecards there. So this is a huge attempt for him. This is the first time he'll have done 200 kilos in competition. Previous best was 199 as a 109. Massive 10-kilo jump.
This is huge.
Yeah, looked to be just too heavy there.
Yeah, he looks stronger off the floor than he used to as a 109, that's for sure, but something happening in that turnover. It's very possible that that added body weight, lifting the same amount of weights, just means that his balance has to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Well, the balance needs to be in the same place, but to maintain that balance, different angles have to be made.
Thank you, loaders.
Okay. Walid Badani, 6-kilo jump here to 201. So we've had one attempt at 200. We haven't seen a make yet, but we have now every single attempt going to be over the 200-kilo mark.
Yeah, these next 7 attempts, potentially all from different men, could make this a session with 7 200-kilo plus snatches.
15 attempts we have remaining here, which is unbelievable.
Oh.
Did he hop a little bit back?
Yeah, he sank down just a little bit. It was forward on him.
Yeah. He goes for that elbow.
He will have another opportunity to come back and take that attempt, but first up we
So he has made that kind of weight before.
Yeah.
This will be a personal best for Sharifi. 201 kilos. His best is 197. This is only his 3rd international competition.
Yeah. Sharifi's got a huge pull, very fast, but his overhead position, he's a little bit forward when he catches, so he definitely has to take a few steps. If he gets a little bit better pull on this, that may not be a problem, though.
Now, believe it or not, He's actually the youngest athlete here. He's only 22 years of age.
Doesn't look a day over 21. Yep, couldn't make that.
Just a hair forward. And if the Iranians miss snatches, it's always because it's forward.
Yeah.
They've always got a little hop forward. It's not a, doesn't seem to be a technical area that's ever corrected in Iranian weightlifting. It's just part of the lift.
Yeah. So 200 has been, 200 or more is proving to be a pretty big roadblock for some of these athletes. So far, no one has made this.
Walid Badani will take the next attempt at 201 kilos. It'll be a big 4 kilo personal best for him. Sorry, no, it won't be. It'll be a 2 kilos under his personal best. Sorry.
So
Manasad's put in 205. That would be massive.
You know, potentially there could be just ambitious jumps here. So Davuti's coming out for 202. A 5 kilo jump, probably smart. He had a very strong 197 opener.
This is a 1 kilo personal best for Davuti.
Wow.
There we go.
This is a different Davuti than we saw 7 weeks ago in Bahrain. He wants a rematch here between him and Gore Manassian, I think.
Yeah.
That 202 is a statement.
202 stays on the barbell. Walid Badani, Algeria, third attempt.
Siguiendo con 202 kilogramos.
Incredible.
Vamos a Walid Badani. Argelia, 202 kilogramos para su tercer levantamiento.
So presumably he'll jump to around 205.
Yeah.
Seems logical here.
205 or 206, give himself the best possible chance. Manassian and Lalayan open at 205. He might be able to sneak in there, hoping they miss their second two.
Yep.
203 kilogramos para su tercer arranque.
So Manasad is the lifter now with 203.
Both he and Badani want it.
Syria.
So I think this is a 6 kilo personal best from, I don't think he, I mean his 198 second attempt I think was a personal best.
Yeah, I believe 197 was his best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's made progress here.
Absolutely massive.
Yeah,
he pulls the bar so fast, but that right arm just
didn't have it.
Yeah, not going to hold.
He's a very capable super here. He's potentially right in the mix here with Davuti and Manassian. He's got in the mid-high 240s in the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
And if he's in this kind of shape in the snatch, maybe 250 plus is possible.
203 kilogramos continúan en la palanqueta.
Okay, Walid Badani now.
De Argelia.
From Algeria. He missed 201 on his second attempt. He's bumped up another 2 kilos here. If he misses, he'll be credited with that opening 195.
Yeah, he needs these 8 kilos. So close, he just cut that pull a tiny bit.
He's a fast athlete. That would have equaled his best, I believe. So it was a pretty big lift for him.
203 kilograms remains the weight on the barbell. This is the
So 3 athletes still yet to open, of course. Both Lalayan and Manassian from Armenia and Bahrain want 205 for their openers. Telakadze is asking for 210. That might drop down.
Yeah.
But before we get there, it's probably going to be Ali Davuti.
So, a bit interesting. Davuti's called 204, and he's going to take it.
Well, it's still a personal best.
Yep, and it's potentially a smart move. He's just going to do what he can in the snatch and try to catch those 2 Armenians in the clean and jerk.
Definitely capable of 250.
Yeah, this is a lot of progress here. Looked very good on the first 2.
looked noticeably slower, I'd say, on the pull.
Hips came up a little faster.
Yeah.
Probably a smart call. He made everything he could with that 202.
Yeah, but he walks away with a personal best.
We have 3
202 kilos there on that second attempt.
Yeah, the only one in that whole the whole group there to have broken 200.
Lalayan,
Now these 3 men here that are coming out are basically the strongest men on the planet right now.
This is as to be expected. 3 athletes, 3 attempts each. The battle for the podium spots in the snatch. It always seems to be this way, at least the last few years. Lalayan, Manassian, Talakadze battling it out. We saw Lalayan snatching 200 kilos in the training hall, made it look very comfortably. That was last week.
His best is 211, I believe.
Yeah.
Just 6 kilos shy of that with his opening lift. Oh, very comfortable.
Yeah, it has to be said that between him and his old teammate Gor Manassian, he's probably the nicer technician of the two, moves a little bit smarter, but he doesn't have that just freakish level of strength that Gor Manassian seems to have. Gor Manassian almost looks out of position from the moment he starts pulling the bar, and then he's in position when he catches it.
It's a spectacle, for sure.
And here he is now.
He looks ready. He ran up on that platform.
He often does. He's like so focused. He gets incredibly aggressive when he lifts.
This is a man who's done 216.
Wow.
205 opener. Wow.
That is just so staggering how he does it every time.
Amazing.
That's remarkable.
The kind of strength we saw back at Asians not more than 7 weeks ago. Impressive.
But did he open at 200 at Asians, I
believe
think? So he's 5 kilos up on that.
And it looked like a power snatch, as it usually does.
Second attempt here with Armenia.
Now there's his coach, of course. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. I would have thought both those athletes are going to jump up.
Yeah, I think you called it right, too.
Lasha's dropped.
Lasha down at 208.
As to be expected.
8 kilograms, please.
And
he's going to come out here.
Yeah, you don't want to read into that too much.
No.
You know, when Lasha snatched 225, he opened at 210. When he snatched 220, he opened at 208. So 208 also at the Olympic Games he opened with, and he ended up snatching 223 kilos there. So this is a very standard opening attempt for Lasha Talakadze. He, of course, suffered an injury to his left knee back in April, and then almost as due to sort of compensating to that, put a little bit more weight on his right knee, then had a bit of a right knee injury recently.
This is going to be a very telling lift for us.
It's always great.
Yep. Very, very strong.
And a sigh of relief, I think, from everybody. I mean, audible gasps from the crowd. Lots of people here have never seen him lift in person. It's always a spectacle.
Second attempt.
You know, we are sort of over-spoiled in many ways with Lasha. Over the years, we've seen him snatch more than 216 so many times. Nobody else has ever beaten 216. He does it every single time he competes.
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's worth us always being aware of just how special his performances are.
Once-in-a-generation lifter.
210 kilograms,
yeah, the last time we saw him miss a snatch was 2018 when he took an attempt at 221 kilos. Since then, he's made every single snatch in competition.
He just decided he wasn't going to miss one anymore.
Yeah.
So this is a huge attempt for Lalayan, only a kilo under his best on his second attempt here.
Massive.
He's a very quick lifter. He has a great turnover, but he has a really wide grip and sometimes doesn't quite get that bar back behind his head. He's definitely a lifter who is a bit more technical. He's got to come off the floor properly. Great pull.
There we go.
Better than the first.
There we go.
We could see something humongous from him on the third.
Yeah, and let's not let Lasha's performances sort of cast a shadow over just how unbelievable these other athletes are. It is so rare to see in competition an athlete snatching 210 kilos or more, and the fact that we're about to see 3 attempts at it is just mind-boggling. That 210 there in previous years, previous competitions, would be more than anyone else would have ever made.
Well, Gore has gone up. Gore has gone up to 212.
And Max, back in the 90s, who was snatching over 210? We saw athletes doing it in the 80s. Krastev did it. You know, we saw a few lifters doing it then. Back in past 2000, a few did it. But
yeah, maybe Karlovic in the early 90s.
Maybe, right in the early.
A 212 snatch here is incredible. This is something that sets him up for potentially his personal best. This is a massive attempt, 2 kilos over what he did in Asians. Oh,
wow,
my
wow,
Lord.
wow. Okay. He is just so physically strong. He always catches it with his hips a little bit high. He regularly has to take steps forward. But this man is one of the greatest snatchers of all time.
He's showing us that right now. That is incredible. 212 on the second.
2 other athletes have, well, 3 other athletes have ever snatched as much of Gore. Lasha, who of course gone over the 216 that Gore did, but then equaling Gore's 216, we have Behzad Salimi, who's actually in the back room right now, and Antonio Krastev from back in the 80s. And Gore has only snatched over 212 kilos once. That was when he did the 216. He's hit 212 once before. He did that at the 2019 World Championships.
Gore's put 216 on the board.
Gore is pushing Lasha Talakadze. I think that Gore and Lalayan probably smell blood in the water from Lasha's 2 injuries this year.
Absolutely.
And they've turned up in the best shape of their lives. And it's about time we saw Lasha put under pressure in the snatch.
This is going to be potentially the greatest snatching session we've ever seen. 3 lifters over 215, at 215 or more.
We'll have never seen that, I don't think, in a single competition. 215, the second attempt for Talakadze. He made this in the training hall.
Wow.
That looks a little bit better than he made it in the training hall, which is good to see. Now, I didn't mention it before that. I didn't want to cause too much panic, but we saw him miss 215 in the training hall.
And then the second one he made was a bit tough.
Yeah.
And it was a twist.
It was a little bit of twist, maybe a bit of a wobble, but he's come out here on the day of the competition and put on an absolute spectacle.
Lalayan going for a 215 snatch is absolutely unreal here. This is a 4 kilogram personal record for him. This puts him in striking distance if Lasha is not in shape, if he's in only as good a shape as we saw at Europeans this year.
I believe this puts him as the 4th strongest snatcher ever, because I don't think anyone who's made 215 hasn't made 216. I might need to check that.
Yeah, that could be true.
Karlovic did 215, so maybe top 5.
210 was very strong. Oh my Lord.
Oh my word.
2 lifters have
the
exceeded 215 in this competition.
It's the most extraordinary snatch session maybe ever in super heavyweight history. If we see Gore Minassian now make this, this will be a first for our sport. 3 athletes at 215 or more.
Representing the Kingdom of Bahrain, Gore Minassian.
Okay, we need to find out how many athletes have done this.
The only other time we've ever seen this was Behzad Salimi versus Talakadze in 2017 in Anaheim, I believe, and then possibly at the Olympics 2016.
At the Olympics, we saw a 215 from Lasha and a 216 from Salimi.
But not 3 men.
But not 3 men.
This man, only other man in history in this competition to have snatched 216. Ties his best on his 3rd.
Oh, it was so close.
Doesn't get any closer than that. Amazing attempt from Gore.
I mean, within an inch of moving into the lead. But still, Gore Minassian walks away with the 2nd best snatch performance, equal 2nd best of his career.
Yeah, 212 is massive for Gore.
Lalayan snatched 215. 3 for 3. Lasha, not trusting himself at 220, he's got to come out at 218. Now this is still, only he's ever done this. Let's not forget, nobody's ever been able to make this except for this man right here. And surely there's a certain amount of confidence that comes with knowing that you've made 7 kilos more in competition. He holds the world record, of course, at 225.
Lasha taking 2/8 here and shows a bit of a fight here.
Yeah.
He's going to be only 3 kilos up from Lalayan.
I mean, at the European Championships, he snatched 217.
Yep.
Okay, he's going up to 220.
Once more weight, 220
Now, it is always worth taking a moment to just acknowledge what an unbelievable thing we're about to see. Every time 220 is loaded in a snatch, this is a weight that for decades was debated, will any human ever do it? Most people probably said no, and this man has done it so many times now in his career.
Still 5 kilos from his best ever.
I believe this is the 6th time we've seen him do it. 220 or more. And he can't hold it, and that makes things interesting.
This
going
is
into the clean and jerks.
A completely different scenario than we've seen before. Lasha is neck and neck with Veristat Lalayan from Armenia, and only 3 kilos above Gormanazian of Bahrain.
Now, he did make the 215 first, so he does get a gold in the snatch. Let's not get too crazy here and think that he lost the snatch. But I mean, this makes things a little bit more interesting moving into the clean and jerks. We know that Lally is in good shape. If Lalayan puts himself in 255 kind of territory, we might not see Lasha make that. I mean, at the European Championships, when Lasha was suffering his knee injury, he missed 253 kilos in his second attempt. He declined his third because he won on his opener. But he might very well need to get into the mid-50s here.
Yeah, this is a precarious position. This is a battle. This is an absolute fight here. The 3 strongest men on the planet going neck and neck in the snatch.
And you know, the only thing that makes the story of Lasha maybe one day hitting 500 in the total more exciting is if he gets beaten on the way up.
Yeah.
You know, to see an athlete who is essentially undefeated maybe get beaten and have to come back at the next competition makes this a more interesting story. But 215 for Lasha Talakadze, 215 for Verazdat Lalayan, 212 bronze for Gormanazian. When was the last time, in fact, has 212 ever been a bronze?
I would wonder if maybe the 1987 Worlds between Kurlovic, Taranenko, and Krastev.
Yes.
We would have seen maybe one of those lifters only hit 212, probably Taranenko. But he may have only done 210. Obviously, Krastev probably breaking the world record there, and then Kurlovic potentially being in that 212 range, 215.
So the bronze medal snatch in the 1987 was 202.5.
Wow.
Yeah, 216 was Krastev for that world record. Kurlovic, 212.5. He has made 215, though. But am I right in saying now that the best snatches ever, we have Lasha, and then we have 3 athletes at 216. It's Krastev, Salimi, and
Lasha again.
And Gore.
Gore, sorry.
And then we have 2, I think, now at 215. I think Kurlovic and Verazdat Lalayan. I think he cracks that top 6. Who has anybody done 215? Daniel might have done it at a national competition.
Yeah, I don't think Danielon did it in...
Daniel, yeah. That's
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. That may have been one of the... Easily.
Yeah.
One of the top 3 best snatch sessions ever filmed. For those of you watching, you saw history in the making. An extraordinary session, and we're only halfway through.
Yeah.
We had 6 men going into this competition who had done over 200 kilos. We end the session with 4 having broken the 200 kilo mark. 3 of those men broke the 210 kilo mark.
Word.
And we have 2 215 snatches. This is an extraordinary battle here.
8 snatches over 200 kilos.
Wow.
At this World Championships. And, you know, we've been talking about the Lasha story and the injuries that he's been suffering this year. And I think we said going into this that there are 2 ideal situations. He's either in great shape and we get to see all new all-time world records, but we sort of knew that wouldn't happen. Or he's not in his best shape and Verazdat Lalayan is, and we finally see Lasha really pressured, pushed, forced to make final attempts. And I think that's the situation that we're going to be in.
Yeah, you know, the first time that I think
it's possible Lalayan could win this.
Yeah.
I really do. I really think it. Lalayan might be physically stronger in the clean and jerk right now.
So, you know, we talked a little bit about numbers, and I had put 218 down for Lasha in the snatch.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know.
I wonder if he'd have gone for the 18, would he have made it?
Well, because I said it, he probably would have.
Right.
But, you know, what I was going to say here is the first time Lasha really won me over was live in person, saw him do the 220 in Anaheim.
Did you see him do the, did you see him in Houston there?
Yes, he did. Yeah, we saw him in Houston.
211 maybe, something like that. Yeah.
But that 220 was really, he was dethroning Salimi, you know, for the final time. And, you know, it was one of those things where we started to see, wow, the Lasha that of modern day, where this man is going to be the best and no one's going to catch him. He really took off there. Definitely had the heart. You know, he was not the favorite. There was a massive Iranian contingency in the fan that was just throwing everything they had at him.
Lots of booze
and vuvuzelas and just absolutely everything. And he smashed that 220 there. Like you say, this could be a situation where he needs that final clean and jerk to win this.
And you just have to hope that over the following, 4 months, basically, until the European Championships, Lasha can rest up a little bit and try and, the last thing we want is for an injury like this to haunt him for the rest of his career. And it happens time and time again. Exactly. An athlete gets injured, they don't give themselves the required rest, and they never look the same. And we just have to hope that that doesn't happen. It doesn't stop Lasha on his journey up that summit to 500. He's on his own. He's moved ahead of everyone by, 15 kilos in the total of anyone ever, basically. And he's doing things that no one else has done. Right now, he's momentarily down. Let's hope he can get back up there. And let's hope that he can bring some of these other athletes with him. Lalayan has put himself in a position here to get one of the heaviest totals ever.
Yeah. Yeah, his 245 opener, if we take that, he's already at 460, which is massive. That's a gigantic total. How many athletes have ever actually broken that number? It's a handful.
So we have just under 4 minutes before we get back underway. Perhaps we should very quickly run through some of the other performances from this session. Ali Davoudi, he made a personal best, 202 kilos. Ayat Sharifi, 196, that's a kilo shy of his best. We saw Abdul Rahman from Egypt come out. He made a personal best at 191. Walid Badani, despite looking strong in his opener, only made that opening attempt at 195. Manasad hit a personal best, 198. Simon Martirosyan from Armenia, his first competition as a super, didn't quite go to plan. He missed 200, so he'll only be credited with that 190 kilos. Lalayan, his best ever performance, 4 kilo personal best. He moves into the top 6 snatches ever in this category, 215 kilos. Gormanasyan, 212 kilos, unbelievable. And Lash Telekadze definitely seems like he's got a bit of a wound and the others smell blood. 215, he missed 220. He does have the gold because he hit the 215 before Lalayan. But wow, what a snatch portion of this World Championships.
Yeah, really a tremendous session so far.
So I'm just trying to get a little bit of information as to some of the heaviest snatches ever. 215. Oh, so Krastev, of course, did 215. He did 215.5 and he did the 216. But I'm interested in how many other people have made 215. And I'm not sure. I do believe that Karlovic made it, but we're looking at a list of world records, and I believe that he made it after the 216 had been made. So it's not going to show up on that list. But I do think he still sits top 6, Lalayan, for having made that. And then, of course, if we look at the totals and just get an idea of what Lalayan might be capable of doing here. I mean, if Lalayan can hit, let's say, everything goes perfectly and he makes 255, that's a 470 total. I mean that is
if he makes his
monstrous.
Opener, he puts himself amongst the likes of Andrei Chemerkin.
Yeah.
460.
Yeah.
To win the 96 Olympics, I believe.
475 was the most that Taranenko maybe ever made.
No, I don't
88
know.
Oh, no, I think he didn't. Maybe 83.
Was it 472 and a half? 475.
Well, 475 here we see.
Right.
In 1988 he did.
Until the exciting conclusion of the men's plus 109.
Hussein Rezazadeh did 472.5. The fact that Lalayan just out-snatched Rezazadeh
Bogota, Colombia.
and is now looking to get into the 50s, that's quite exciting.
Are we seeing the birth of Verstat Lalayan? I mean,
yeah, I mean, maybe so.
We knew he was capable. We saw him at Europeans really make a shot, make a run at Lasha.
Yeah.
But now he's downright in his face. I mean, he has a heavier opener in the clean and jerk here. I mean, I think we'll see Lasha change that, but you know, this is incredible.
Yeah, we saw Lalayan taking a couple of attempts at the European Championships this year at some big clean and jerks, but in the end he was getting lightheaded, so he wasn't able to make either. He took 2 attempts at 252, which would have put him into the lead had he made them.
Lasha, well, so Lalayan opening at 460 would put him near the top 15 totals of all time.
Yeah.
On an opening clean and jerk is absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, Gore has only surpassed 460 once. He's hit it another time. 464 is Gore's best. I mean, I really wanted to see Gore get that 216.
Yeah.
You know, he had, maybe that was the only chance he ever had to beat Lasha in the snatch. You know, when Lasha was only capable of 215, that was his shot, and he was so close to getting it.
He couldn't have gotten any closer. He had it. He was running forward.
Yep, the central referee had already packed his bags and fled.
Yeah.
You know, Gore was definitely on his way, which is just, 3 athletes we almost saw. I mean, we might see it again. You never know. We could see it at the next World Championships.
Well, the big question mark here is how do the clean and jerks play out? We've got our first lifter up, Walid Badani, taking 225.
I mean, this is already a very heavy opening attempt in an A session.
Yeah, his best is 10 kilos more than this. Presumably he wants to get close to that, put up as good a total as he can. Pretty solid clean.
Doesn't have a belt on. It's a very short little step with the back leg there. You know, I wonder if he's feeling the effects of the altitude. I'm sure various athletes will. It's going to come down in many ways to who trained for it. You know, we know that
dazed. He looks a bit tired there. He's grasping for breath.
Talakadze trained at altitude. I'm not sure the Armenians did, but it doesn't seem to have affected them at all. They have been here for a while, though, a week and a half at this point, so they may well have acclimated.
Sharifi will follow.
Wow, he's still suffering there.
And it's not like he would have had to have rushed out. He's had plenty of time. He knows that he's going to be the first out.
I wonder how much this situation may affect more people.
And
bit of the old coach's
230 kilograms.
splashing him with the water there.
230.
Ayat Sharifi.
Manasad wants 235. Sharifi wants 230. Martirosyan wants 235.
That's an enormous.
Never opened that heavy. Of course, he was a 109, but that strikes me as quite heavy for him. Lalayan and Manasyan 245. Lasha 243. Sorry, Gore 245.
Gore's got a 245.
That has to come down.
I have to believe that will come down. His best is 248.
Yeah.
I mean, he did take a shot at 16, though.
Yeah.
Maybe we're seeing a different Gore.
That's such a big pull.
Yeah. Got a lot of distance to get back up with it.
Oh, he was pressing out in his right arm, and then the bar started drifting forward as well.
He looks pretty tired as well here. We're seeing both these first supers looking a bit exhausted.
Yeah.
230 remains the weight on the barbell. A second attempt. Ayat Sharifi, Iran.
You know, if you're ever fortunate enough to come out here to Bogota, try training, see how you feel. It's not easy, given the altitude. Not that I've trained here, but you know, I've walked at a brisk pace, so I feel their pain.
So Sharifi would have to bump 5 kilos to get a little bit of rest.
This 2022 World Championships is the first qualifying event for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games.
So the winning total from the previous session is Jo Seon-bin from Korea. 188, 230 at 418 total. That's already been surpassed by Walid Badani, which is good to see. That's what we want. We want to see the A session really being the A session.
Yeah. So Sharifi's got to follow himself here. Taking a 5 kilo jump would be a huge risk. But you know, he's really between a rock and a hard place because I mean, there's a short rest time, 1 minute.
Thank you again to our fantastic team of loading staff who've been working the barbell all week for 12 days.
You know, the real downside here is if this one's tough and unsuccessful, he's got to take that 5 kilo jump for the extra rest. He needs to do absolutely everything he can to make this lift so he's not in a worse position.
He doesn't look fresh.
He looks a little bit tired. It's labored on the way out. He does not want to be here. For him to get any more rest to jump up and weight, he's got to take a 5 kilogram jump.
He'll have one more attempt to come back and make
he made 230 kilos.
2 minutes on the clock, 230 kilograms on
in fact,
the bar.
what has he made before? At the World Championships last year, 227 kilos is his best. So he is opening at a personal best here.
Yeah, they're going to have to take that jump. They're going to have to go to 235.
Yeah.
I mean, yep, they've done it. He not confident in that 235, I think, after missing the clean on 230.
Okay, so that's going to bring out Abdul Rahman from Egypt. Very powerful athlete, particularly in lifts like the push press. He's boasted some 220 kilo push press in training.
Yeah, very strong upper body. We've seen the way he snatches. Elbows a little bit crooked, but locked out.
The issue is his lockout isn't great, so we'll have to see what happens there.
Wow, we have a lot of moving around. This could be a brutal situation here for Sharifi.
Sort of played the slightly smarter move of going for 236 rather than 235 because, as he expected, everyone's moved up. Abdul Rahman's bumped to 236, Manasad's bumped to 237. Simon Martirosyan next. Looks like he's going to stick true with 235.
Yeah, that's a huge opener for him. I would be up. He's moving, it looks like.
He's moving.
Nope, he's coming out.
He's coming, okay. So his best, he made 240 kilos as a 109 kilo lifter. That was a world record. He got the world record total along with it, which he still holds. He hit 230 kilos in the training hall, and then he went to do some pulls with 230 kilos, and his back was in so much pain, he couldn't even budge it off the floor.
Yeah,
he had to call an end to the workout.
A huge weight.
That looks very strong.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's a really good clean and jerk.
1 week ago, not being able to break 230 off the ground because of a back injury to making 235 as an opener. He is a tough individual.
That's exciting. And as we mentioned, you know, when these athletes gain body weight, it normally transfers to the clean and jerk before it does the snatch due to the changes to the technical aspect of the snatch, which require a little bit more time to get to grips with. Walid Badani now. He's taken a 10 kilo jump. Does this, I think this equals his best, perhaps. 235, yep, that's what he hit at the 19th Mediterranean Games.
Doesn't get under it.
Now you've got to wonder, was it too heavy? Was it a mental thing? You know, 10 kilo jump is no walk in the park.
Badani remains the athlete at 235 kilograms.
Means that Martirosyan is already ahead of Badani despite only snatching 190. That massive opener has moved him 5 kilos ahead.
Yeah, he's calling for 240 as well. He's taking aggressive attempts here.
I think Martirosyan might go even up on that.
I think so, yeah. We could see a big personal record for him.
Well, there was a competition where Martirosyan competed as a super. This is years ago, and he clean and jerked. At least I think he might have clean jerked 245 or something like that, or maybe he attempted it and he was unable to make it. Something around that, which was kind of unbelievable when he did it.
Definitely capable. I mean,
Bidani
he's a man who's, oh wow,
Bidani's
Bidani's pulled out here.
You know, if it feels that heavy and you don't think you're going to be able to change your mindset, there's no point trying to risk getting under that. Yeah.
So El Sayed opening 6 kilograms over his best.
Yeah.
He's going for broke here.
He already snatched a personal best. This will be a massive total for him. We've seen him hit 240 kilos in training. So he's capable of it. He's not got the best lockout. Again, he's sort of half gestures, lockout issues.
He likes to burn that clock.
Just 5 seconds. 3.
Good clean. It's all in the lockout. Very solid.
Yeah.
He has made considerable progress here, plus 6 kilograms over his best.
Lift, Mohammed.
Movimiento válido.
He's
You
in a
know,
great
he
position.
started competing internationally way before most of these athletes, but he's competed a lot less frequently.
Yeah.
Only once since 2011, for which he was subsequently disqualified. Okay, I have Sharifi now, 236 kilos.
So
This is such a... I mean, in many ways, he's made the right moves. He had to make the jump up. He could not have followed himself 3 times.
it's the right move on paper, but in reality, it's just not a place you want to be.
No.
Missing 2. They both were heavy. Going up 6 kilograms to get the rest, but
We're almost at 240 with, 5 athletes haven't even opened yet.
great clean.
That's a really nice lift.
Hopefully he's got the energy here. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Well played
So
strategy.
powerful.
Did the best he could with the hand he was dealt here.
Oh, yeah.
Movimiento válido.
Oh, he looks disappointed, though. Clearly, he knows he was capable of more. It's really upsetting to see.
That looked like it could have been an opener.
Yep, huge release of emotion. Don't forget, he's only 22 years of age. You know, it takes a lot to get to a competition like this, and then when you have to come back from 2 missed lifts, you don't realize, we said this before, you don't let yourself acknowledge the kind of distress that you're in, because you've just got to get through it.
Yeah.
And it's only when you come back and make that final attempt you realize, wow, that was not good. You know, I put myself in a horrible situation there.
Yeah, that's a mentally tough thing to do, to stay in the fight. So Manasad, 237 here.
Colossal opener. I want to say he hit at a sort of local-ish meet, 245. I'm not sure it was IWF sanctioned, but he's been looking very strong recently. The big man from Syria.
Very fast pull. Wow, he has a lot in the tank.
Yeah.
Very energetic clean and jerk for 237 kilos and a man of that size.
Yeah, it's not easy to move that kind of weight that fast.
237 stays on the barbell.
So
A 1 minute clock, second attempt.
I think the next weight we're going to see here is
El Sayed.
probably 240.
Now, Max,
Yep.
you're a man who's been pretty successful in the squat in years past.
He
You've
moves
front
up
squatted
to
weights like that.
weight
You've front
takes
squatted
the
weights more than
barbell
that.
238
But can you imagine
kilograms.
unracking that
Assad,
and considering even
Syria,
trying to lift that
second
above your head?
238
There's
kilogramos
no
para
way.
el segundo levantamiento de Man Assad de Siria.
Okay, Ali Davoudi looks like he's going to be
240 here.
the next
Though he's-
athlete up. We're going to wait for Manasad to
240,
change. He's made the
please,
change.
lowers 240 kilograms.
So we're up.
First attempt.
Davoudi eager
Ali
here. He's
Davoudi, Iran.
getting up on the platform here before the loaders have even finished.
Yeah, he's clearly feeling pretty decent here.
Primer levantamiento de envío.
So Davoudi, the Asian Championships, made 243. He did take a jump to an Asian record, but he missed it. Big opener for him. I believe this is a 1 kilo total record if he makes this opener.
A little bit tough on the clean. Strong jerk, though.
Yeah.
Holds it overhead well in the split. Gets totally balanced.
Okay, that's good. That's great for Davoudi. I mean, this is actually the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
His best clean and jerk is 243, but he's never been able to put a clean and jerk of that level with a snatch of the level that he's just done. So he's already at a personal record.
You know, he showed up here looking like he was ready for a rematch with Gore from the Asians. Put up a great 202 snatch, strong 240, but Gore just, with that 212, may have taken the wind out of his sails there.
Okay, enormous 240 here for Simon Martirosyan.
Quick clean, he's up with it. Oh, he's fighting, he gets under, probably just a bit too rushed to get back under that bar and stabilize it. He's got a smile on his face, he knows he's got that. It was a great attempt, just a little bit off, couldn't balance, couldn't stabilize. So now the question becomes, what happens? Do we see another 240 attempt from Martirosyan, or do we see
him bump up?
Jump to 243 would pull out El Sayed from Egypt.
He has a 2-minute clock.
I could see the 3 kilo jump here if he wants to. You know, he's really not going to be in position to get a medal in that lift, but maybe he wants that big lift, that personal record here in competition.
Portion of this session, every kilogram counts.
You know, knowing him though, he might even bump to 245. Just say, you know what? Although he does look like possibly he's coming out. Weight hasn't changed, still 240.
Yeah, this will equal his. It was a world record when he hit it at 109. Of course, Nuruddinov beat that at the Asian Championships up to 241.
Yeah, it really shows the level of conditioning of someone like Lasha to take all of his lifts basically with a 2-minute clock.
Yeah.
I mean, these lifters are you know, put in that same position. We see how demoralizing that conditioning can be.
Now, please welcome back to the platform, third attempt.
Okay, massive third attempt here for Martirosyan at 240 kilos. The clean looked pretty decent on his second attempt.
Yeah, he's a very quick, compact cleaner.
I wonder if it just wasn't enough rest for him.
Yeah, it's such a hard place to be in, that 1-minute clock.
Yeah.
You know, and it really is 1 minute. He comes out there at about a minute, 10 seconds.
241 kilograms now, please.
So that is Simon Martirosyan. He's not been able to reach the heights that he reached as a 109, even in the total, let alone accolades. Hopefully he's able to train a little more successfully for the European Championships.
This is a giant opener. Manassian's dropped to 41. Yeah. He only did 242, I believe, at the Asians.
Yeah, I think that's right. It was enough for a gold medal there.
Very strong clean.
Oh, he had a little slip of the back foot.
He pushes himself behind that bar a little bit on the jerk.
No lift, Messiaen.
You know, he always has that turned out back foot. In fact, a lot of the Armenian lifters do it.
Yeah.
Of course, he now competes with Bahrain, but he grew up through that system. So we'll have to see what he's capable of here. Now he's also in a tough situation. I mean, what does he do?
And Davoudi jumps up.
Davoudi's going to go up.
So will Gore come out? Or is he going to bump? If he bumps, he might need to bump to...
You know, he's in a
42 might do it. Might bring out Abdul Rahman.
he's in medal contention here, so he really has to be smart about his attempts. Making a total is so critical for him.
You might find that just making a clean and jerk puts him in the bronze. The only person who might be able to move ahead would be Davoudi, if Davoudi hits a massive personal best in the clean and jerk.
So he's going up. He's got
Second attempt.
242.
Mohammed, Egypt.
Probably the smart play, yeah.
Sigue subiendo
So
el
it's
peso de
coming
la
out.
banqueta, 242 kilogramos y en plataforma Mohamed El Sayed de Egipto.
Okay, massive lift here for Abdulrahman Al Sayed. He made a personal best on a snatch. He already opened up with a personal best in the clean and jerk.
Burning the clock. 7 seconds.
No hitch during the pull, but he's up with it. Wow.
Great jerk.
Yeah.
That's a huge lift for him.
You know, every single lift he's done, he's burned that clock down to the 3 to 5 seconds. I guess he just, some athletes almost seem a bit paralyzed by when to start initiating the pull, but with the clock ticking down, you're forced to do it.
Second attempt. Time begins.
So Gore in a tough spot here. He's got to make a clean and jerk to get a total.
Yeah.
He looked very strong on the first clean. Here he comes. He's fired up. Very good clean again.
Huge pull.
He's got to get it behind his head.
That's the one.
There it is.
No slip in the back foot at all on that lift. That's brilliant from Minassian.
Wow.
And that puts him in a pretty big total for him. He's at 454. That's 10 kilos shy of his best.
He's in a good spot here. He's probably got a medal locked up unless Davoudi can really bring it in the clean and jerk.
Davoudi would need 53.
Is Lasha opening 243 here?
Yep.
He's on the board, but we'll see if he doesn't move that up.
Yep. Looks like he's bumped it to 246. Both he and Lalayan, in fact, Lasha is now playing a tactical game we've never seen from him, where he's putting a kilo more than Lalayan because they've got the same snatch at 215. So he's probably just going to...
I'm
Oh no, is Lalayan dropped? Or? Oh, they've got the wrong athlete. Wrong athlete.
Minassian hasn't bumped up.
So Gore needs to
now
make
it's
the
Lalayan.
change.
It's a bit frustrating. These athletes are not being held back by the TC to make sure the actual lifter is the lifter whose name is on the scoreboard.
First up, Lalayan, Armenia, first attempt at 245 kilograms.
So Lalayan doing 245 here.
Massive
opener.
opener.
460 total.
Yeah.
Moving him, solidifying him as one of the best supers of all time. The top, certainly in the top position there. So few men have done a 460 total. Good clean.
Oh, I don't know about that.
He rushed that whole lift, I think.
And he struggled at the European Championships. He passed out after 2 attempts in the clean and jerk. And that was in many ways the reason he wasn't able to beat Lasha at the European Championships.
Yep.
It would be really quite upsetting for him if that same thing happened again.
So Davoudi's going 246, I believe. He wants that.
First attempt, representing Georgia, Lasha Talakadze.
Now,
I mean, if Lasha's dropped to 245 now,
yeah, I guess it's just
Smart
gets him
move,
the
yep.
lead.
This would put him be the first to do that total. So even if Lalayan comes back and makes it, he's tying for second. It's a very strategic game from George Yasinidze here. He knows how to win weightlifting meets. But it doesn't lend a lot of confidence to Lasha's condition for him to be going 245. You know, we would have thought a healthier Lasha would have just opened at something enormous and ended the thing on his opener.
He does often open in the 40s, jump to the 50s, and then the 60s. Not sure we'll see the 60s today. He hit this in the training hall last week. And he's going to hit it again today on his opener. That's actually not a bad opening attempt there from Lasha.
He got two red lights.
Oh.
By decision.
That left arm was a bit slow on the lock. They're definitely going to play a challenge card.
Yeah, challenge has been put in.
This is a remarkable...
From our angle, it's very difficult to see it. We're seeing it for the first time here.
That looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly didn't look any worse than his 267 from last year.
Yeah.
It's harsh if they call it.
Surprised if they don't overturn the jury decision.
I mean, it's just so hard to know if an elbow sort of ever so slightly shakes versus wobbles.
He's jerked just like this for years.
Yeah, he has.
Right? So for the precedents to be that he's jerked this way, and those have been good lifts,
and now it's not. Yeah, it's the same as every other lift he's ever done.
This call could be a devastating move here.
Yeah.
The jurors have confirmed the referee's decision. No lift.
He's got a no lift.
This is such an interesting battle at plus 109.
Massive boos from the audience here.
Gorman Aston's in the lead. Gore snatch 212, 3 kilos behind Lalayan and Talakadze, but then Lalayan and Talakadze missed their openers.
Davudi is still potentially here. I mean, obviously, Lalayan and Talakadze have not made a total yet.
They both need this 245. This is
extremely clutch here. A little bit harder lift for Lalayan, that 245 clean before this. He's waiting for that buzzer. Wow, this is becoming an extremely interesting battle here.
This is not good for Lalayan.
Lalayan is in an absolutely terrible position here. He's got 0 clean and jerks on the board. He has 1 attempt left.
At this point, Lasha's got a bump to 246 maybe and take Lalayan's clock, although Al Saeed's got 245 written in as well. I don't know what the right thing to do is. Maybe Talakadze will just come out and go for it.
I think Talakadze needs to make this lift.
Yeah.
He can do 245.
Give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
He just cannot leave anything for can't take it for granted. You know, he's got to do an incredible job on this lift. We saw him struggle at Europeans. Didn't make the 253 on his second.
No.
We saw him do about this in the training hall. Just had a little bit of a soft elbow on the last one. It wasn't locked out the way the jury wanted it.
Always a strong clean. That jerk is fine. That jerk is fine. Yeah, there we go.
Gives a little bit of a glance over there to the refs and the jury. Is that good enough for you?
And you know, that's part of the difficulty of him having such a narrow grip, is that there's sometimes a little bit of a wobble in the elbow. But that's the first time I've ever seen him called for it.
Yeah, he is tired here.
But he's on the board and he can sit back now.
460 still, he's in the lead now. He's got 1 left in the tank if he needs it.
Lalayan has to go 46.
Yeah.
Has to. And if he does, Lasha has to go 47, surely. Just go for it.
So Davudi's
Another change. Ali Dawoodi.
Cargadores, 246 por favor.
So Lalayan has
246 now. Second attempt representing Iran. Ali
above to
Dawoodi.
246. So if Lalayan hits it, he'll move ahead of Lasha. Lasha should then go 247. He's put in 255, but that's just a placeholder.
Dawoodi in an interesting position here. He's got 2 clean and jerks left. 246 is a make, would put it to 448. He's probably not going to be able to get up above 460, but he could pass Gore.
246 still on the barbell. Abdelrahman Mohammed, Egypt, third attempt. Time begins.
So Lasha's got the 255 in there. Smart move, just a placeholder.
Yeah.
Basically saying, I'm taking the last clean and jerk if I need to win.
246.
So here's Lalayan.
Back to Lalayan.
Give him a hand.
So he missed the jerk on his opener, he missed the clean on his second attempt. Hopefully the pressure of knowing that this is for the lead might be enough to do it for him.
I mean, this is a do or die for Lalayan.
Yeah.
He either makes this and passes Lasha in the total, or he's only going to walk away with a snatch medal. Missed the jerk, then he missed the clean.
Got 20 seconds. This for the lead.
Maybe the biggest lift of his life right here.
This is the closest anybody's ever come to beating Lasha. And
wow!
He has just moved into the lead. That is incredible. What a performance here from Varazdat Lalayan. That puts him at 461.
This is amazing. This is the first time we've seen Lasha in the last few years since he started snatching in those giant numbers. He is in he's behind Lalayan right now.
Yeah, we said that we would love to see Lasha push to make his final attempt for the gold, and that's exactly what we're going to see. Max, presumably he'll just come down to 247 because, you know, even if Ali Dawoodi would need 261 to move ahead of him,
yeah, that's not
going to happen. So he can probably rest assured knowing that if he drops to 247, that will do it. But we haven't seen Lasha in that sort of position since 2015.
Yeah.
$10-kilo jump here for Manassar. This
That's
is
3 lifters at 247, so Assad will be the first to take it. This would put him in the gold in the clean and jerk. Wow, very strong.
Oh my word.
This man could go well over 250.
Like you said, so much energy. Max, something that we need to acknowledge, Lasha can't just drop down to 247 because Gore is still in it. If Lasha drops to 247, he'll end up with 462, which means that Gore would need 251. It would be a personal best, but it's not unheard of for him.
It would put Lasha in a position where he's letting someone else have the last chance.
Yeah, which he doesn't like. If I were Lasha, and I'm glad I'm not, he might want to just drop to 251 to take the last lift. To just
Manassian's put 250 in now.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's playing chicken here with Lasha, with Georgie. Dawoodi 247. This puts him
not into a podium spot,
but it puts him in striking distance for his third to pass Gore. Tough clean.
Yeah.
Wow. He's made that jerk.
He doesn't normally make jerks after cleans that look like that.
These men are exhausted.
Exhausted.
Spent right now. This is an absolute brawl you are watching right now in the supers.
This is the closest World Championships plus 109s we've seen in years. You know, right now there are several athletes who could win. Lalayan is in the leading position. Lasha has a shot for it. Gore has a shot for it. This is the kind of battle we've been missing in many ways.
This man here, not in medal contention, but potentially in the clean and jerk. Also having a fantastic day himself. Personal records.
2 athletes have made 247. He'll be the 3rd to do it.
He's going to get set and then burn the clock a little bit more. This is a massive clean and jerk PR for him. Wow.
Oh.
It's a huge attempt.
Yeah. You know, he has so much power in that drive, but somewhere between 242 and 247, he loses it.
250 is going to go on the bar.
Yeah.
We've got 4 attempts left.
Gore is going to take this to move into the lead.
If Gore makes this,
Gore will be ahead of Lalayan and Lasha if he makes this. It's a personal best. It's a personal best for Gore. I mean, for an athlete who's competed for so long at this level.
Watch him here. He's going to get set. He's going to put his...
He'll run out.
Yep.
He always runs out for these. There he goes.
He is an absolute animal. He goes after this with everything he has.
He doesn't chalk up. He just goes straight for it. A new personal best.
250. This is massive. He's cleaned
there we go.
it.
Oh my word, can he hold it?
Oh
can he
my
stay
Lord.
on the platform?
That is amazing. Gormanazian has just passed Lasha. He is in the lead.
This is just such a stunning end to this men's plus 109. And we still have 3 attempts remaining. Gormanazian, with his 2nd best total ever, his best ever clean and jerk, moves ahead of his old teammate, Varazdat Lalayan, for the lead. Lasha sits in 3rd place with just 1 attempt remaining.
Gormanazian is... what an incredible fight.
And surely Lasha has to drop here to 51. Yeah, this is it.
He's going to take this.
This will put him at 466. It's 3 kilos more than he technically needs, but he couldn't have known that. This is absolutely massive.
All of the strongest men in history have been dwarfed by this man. He's now fighting for his position.
We haven't seen him in this situation for over 7 years, fighting for a gold on his last lift. It's a good clean. He's going to have to lock this out convincingly. And that looks to me to be very convincing.
What a fight.
Once again, Lasha Talakadze is undefeated, and we can only assume that he now becomes a 6-time world champion, a 2-time European champion, world champion, sorry, Olympic champion, but a 6-time world champion. And he gave absolutely everything. If ever anybody was going to move ahead of him, it was today. Lalayan almost did it. Manassian almost did it.
Well, how amazing was that? We still have 2 more lifts here, potentially for the medals in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, no one is going to... There's no way Ali Davoudi is going to look to try and move ahead of Lasha in the total in his final attempt.
No.
Wow. Okay, so... I mean, if he wanted to, he would need 265.
That's just it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? Okay, so Manassad now looking for the lead in the clean and jerks.
He's shown that he has the absolute power to do it. Extremely energetic clean and jerks. His 247 was just a smoke show.
I'd absolutely love to see him make this.
Calling on everything he can for this lift. Watch the power he has.
Wow.
So strong.
Can he hold it? The right arm doesn't look great.
The entire audience was behind him. We wanted to see that.
Everybody is living this. And Ali Davoudi is going to have the final attempt of this men's plus 109 session, the final attempt of the 2022 IWF World Weightlifting Championships.
There has to be some pride here that an Iranian is taking the final clean and jerk of the competition.
It will be a massive personal best for him if he makes it. He hit 243 at the Asian Championships. That was his best. He's going to have to go up another 9 kilos. He did 250 in training just a couple of months ago. We don't know if he's ever hit this.
No.
Not today. He's just going to pull on it.
Too much.
Give him a hand.
That was a more stressful, more exciting, far more interesting session than I think any of us thought we were going to be able to see there. The gold medal in the plus 109s for the 6th time in his career goes to Georgia. Lasha Talakadze once again undefeated, and once again all 3 gold medals. 215 in the snatch, 251 in the clean and jerk. He missed 2 lifts. We've not seen that in a long time. He missed 220, he missed 245 on his opener, but he does win with 466 kilos. The silver medal, though, and in many ways the story of the session, goes to Gormanassian. He attempted 216 and he missed it, but he ended up with 212 in the snatch. A personal best in the clean and jerk at 250 for the silver medal to leapfrog his old teammate Farazdat Lalayan, who snatched 215 kilos, one of 6 men to have ever done that in the history of the sport. He then missed 245 twice, made 246 to move ahead of Lasha momentarily. I mean, that session was just so incredible.
Could any of us have called that there would be a moment where Lasha Talakadze had to make a clean and jerk to beat Gormanassian?
Right.
We saw a battle between Farazdat Lalayan, Manassian, and Talakadze at the Europeans earlier this year. Then we saw Gore move to Bahrain and do an incredible total, 210, 242 at the Asians. And here, I mean, he took a shot at a 466 total, the winning total here. 212, 252, amazing.
I think we all assumed that probably the podium spots would be between those 3, but I didn't think it would be coming down to the last lift for each of them to move ahead of one another. That session was just incredible. And, you know, I would really love to see Manasad with another attempt at 252 or something even heavier. I'm sure we'll see him at some point, maybe at the Asian Championships. He'll be there, and we'll see him go over 250 kilos finally. But so many personal records. I mean, that wraps up such an exciting World Weightlifting Championships. We had world records on the women's side, we had world records on the men's side, we had world records in the snatch, the clean and jerk, and to cap things off with the greatest weightlifter in the world winning once again, but in a sticky way, is just such a great way to wrap this up. So I think that's going to be it from us for the final time, live from Bahrain, Bogota, Colombia, thinking about the Asian Championships. That's going to be it from us. So thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you all again at the next major international weightlifting competition.